What's up, YouTube? Deadpool 2323 back at it with another episode of Comic Hunting Tips. So there's a wide range of tips I can give. This particular episode, I'm going to concentrate on where to get books. There's a lot of places. And I'll go over them more in depth individually down the line. But right now, I'm going to show you pretty much everywhere I've ever gotten a book, for the most part, short of gifts, getting them as a gift. So, the number one place people get books are at your local comic shop. That's where I got Johnny Size X-Men #1, was from my local comic shop. I paid $650 for that. And I was proud to do so. Absolutely love that book. That book, it's only gone up in value since I bought it, for sure. Yeah. Other than your local comic shop, and listen, any comic shop is a local comic shop, right? Other than comic shops, the number 2 place are conventions, which is where I got that. I paid a lot of money for this one. Let me see if it seems to be a little blurry there. There we go. You know, my favorite book that I own right now. Absolutely love this book. So happy to finally get it. And overall, not too bad presentation, you know? Not too bad. Anyway. But that was at a big convention. At a small convention, I got that. And I paid $25 for that. And that's probably a 7.0. And I mean, it's gorgeous. Sharp corners. Needs a cleaning. A little foxing. Needs a cleaning. So, you know, big conventions, little conventions. Don't knock little conventions. You can find some great deals at little conventions. A lot of times, guys that have a big tub of comic books that they don't know nothing about, they just want to sell them. Oh, look, there's this little tiny convention. It only cost me $100 to set up there. I'll go set up and sell all these comic books and make $1 million. But they don't know what they have. So, and then probably the third most utilized place to buy comic books is eBay. eBay may be the most utilized, but that's the 3 most common. And this, I have not bought a lot of books off eBay. I've never bought a major book off eBay. This is the biggest eBay book I've bought. And I was disappointed with the condition when I got it. Fantastic Four 44. First appearance of Gorgon, which is why I wanted it. I was really big into the Inhumans at one time, and now I'm not. So, when you're buying from eBay, there's a lot of things you need to consider, and that'll be in an upcoming video. All right. So getting into it. YouTube. YouTube's another place you can get books. I got this book through YouTube. I made a trade with VinCrew. If you're watching VinCrew, thank you for the trade. Still love this book. I traded him probably a lot more money worth of books than the value of this, but I looked at it based on the value that I paid for those books. It was a bunch of variants that I picked up in a haul, in a collection I bought, and I paid $1.50. I think a book is the average cost that I paid for them all. Nothing that I want to say I had maybe $25 invested into that book. All right. There's a couple different apps you can use on the internet. OfferUp is one of them. Through OfferUp, I found this guy. His name's Byron. He's actually a lawyer. He has a lot of books. I bought a lot of books from him. And that's where I got my copy of Silver Surfer #4. One of the classic covers, one of my favorite covers of all time. And honestly, one of my favorite books in my collection, because this is a book that's rare to find in people's collection. generally speaking, when people are showing off their collection, they're not showing off Fantastic Four or Silver Surfer #4. It's just a rarer book to find. The next book that I love to show off, another app called Let Go. There's my Tales to Astonish #13, 2.5 CGC, first appearance of Groot. I picked this up in a collection that I bought on Let Go. They were advertising a different book. It was an advertisement for one book. It's a whole long story, but it's a great story. If you ever want to see what all I got, you got to go to my Silver Age hauls to see. They're titled Silver Age Haul. Craigslist would be the other internet one. Now, there's two types of ways you can get stuff off Craigslist. People can advertise their books for sale, or you can advertise. So through advertising, I never really picked up a lot of collections, but one of the collections I picked up for $40 had 2 copies of Defenders #28, the first appearance of Starhawk. I had a bunch of Defenders books. I've sold them all. I've probably tripled the money that I paid for that collection, and out of that entire collection, I believe this is the only book I kept. So Defenders #28, first appearance of Starhawk. Really excited to have that book. Really like that cover a lot. Then the other way is to buy stuff. So a guy had listed some stuff for sale. I went and I actually traded some stuff he wanted, not comic book related, but I had something he wanted, and he had a collection of books, and in that I ended up getting my copy of The Amazing Spider-Man 300. This is a very high grade. On the spine, there's one tick right there. The corners are sharp. There's one little tiny ding right there. I'd say it's a 9.4 to a 9.6. It's in the 9s. I'll leave it there. I'd have to open it up and look at the back to say, but it's in the 9s. I'd say it's a pretty high grade book. It's definitely one that I'm going to get pressed and submitted. So that's pretty much. Oh, and then the other way online. Let me see. The other way online that there's a couple other ways online. Instagram. I picked up this copy of Conan the Barbarian #1 for a dirt cheaper. I want to say I paid about $110 for this book. Really happy with the grade. Really happy with the presentation of this book. First appearance Conan the Barbarian through Instagram. And I picked up a lot of books through Instagram. Another great way to get books online is Facebook. There's all kinds of Facebook auctions. I picked this up from my buddy Dustin Sanders. He goes by Black Sky Comics. This is NYX #4. There's reply auctions and live auctions and raffles and all kinds. This is the second appearance of X-23. I do not own the first appearance yet. But I picked this up for a relatively decent price. I don't remember what it was, but he graded that at a 9.0, and I trust Dustin's grading. Okay. So, moving on. Asking around will, making it known that you buy comic books. And not being afraid to say you collect comic books will open up a lot of doors. There used to be stigma. People were like, they're embarrassed because they're an adult and they collect comic books. Some people, not everybody. And that's wrong. You shouldn't be. Be happy with who you are as a person and enjoy what you enjoy, okay? As a younger man, I probably wouldn't have had the confidence maybe to walk into some places. It was a different time then than it is now, but even today, some people probably feel that way. Guys, girls, listen. Be happy with who you are. If it's something that brings you happiness, don't shy away from it. Let it bring you happiness. And if someone wants to give you crap for it, screw them. They don't mean nothing. So, in asking, I ended up scoring this. And if you watched my Deadpool 23's one shot, you'll hear the story of how I got this book. But basically, I asked somebody if they sold comic books, or had if ever bought comic books, and someone else overheard the conversation, and it led to a conversation, and I ended up being able to buy his collection and getting this book in it. So it's a good story. I'll let you watch that video to see it. That happened in a pawn shop. Speaking of pawn shops are a great place to get books. A lot of times they just buy just to buy, and they don't know what they have. Classic case, and this is, I bought this book for $1, and it's Malibu Sun number 13, the first appearance of Spawn. This is probably a $50 book in the current condition. It's not a high grade book. It's got some pressable defects, but I'd even say after a press, I probably get it up to an 8. But still a hard book to find, not an easy book to find. And to find it in a pawn shop for $1 all day long. Flea markets. Lots of people go to flea markets. My best flea market find, and I've gotten a lot at flea markets, but my best flea market find was this book right here, the man called Nova #1. This is the first appearance and origin of Nova. Absolutely love that color. I really like the visual of the covers to this series. I'm gonna be honest, I'm not even sure who did the covers, and I really should know that. But I paid $25 for this book. At the time, the book was selling for $40 to $50, so I got a decent deal at it. In this grade, and this is a high grade book. It's a 7.5 to 8.5, somewhere in there. I'd say it's a 7.5. It's got a few little color breaking, but it's a nice grade book. But for $25, I'd buy this book again. All right, couple more and I'm done, guys. One of my favorite books that I've gotten. I bought this book at a pawn shop. No, antique store. I'm sorry, at an antique store. And antique stores are another place you can check. X-Men number 101. I sent it off for grading, came back a 9.2. I paid $58 for this. And it's a $400+ comic at this point. So, really excited that when I found that book. And it's currently my only copy. I had a second copy and I traded it. Garage sales. You hear a lot about garage sale scores. I've had some luck at garage sales. This book I'm about to show you I didn't get in a garage sale, but I got a copy of this book in a garage sale. This is The Amazing Spider-Man 361, the first appearance of Carnage. I sold the one I got, but I paid 50 cents for this at a yard sale once. And the one I sold, I only sold it for 25 because I sold it to a buddy of mine who then sold it for 45. But he got a higher grade copy and he didn't need 2 copies, so he sold the one. Hey, I gave him a great deal and he was able to make money. I made $19 and I think $24.50 on it, so I can't really complain. And then the number one place, the last place that I've gotten is from friends who collected when they were kids and they were selling. And I paid $100 for this, and it was worth a lot more, and it was the Incredible Hulk number 181. It came back graded 7.0. Did not expect it to go that high. Thought it was about a 5.0 when I bought it. The color's amazing. It's the 7.0 if you can see right there. It's got a little check mark. Let's see if you can get it a little closer. It's got a check mark. That means that it presents higher than grade, meaning that the cover and the back look better than the actual grade of the book, which means a lot of times with a book like this, it means the flaws are on the inside. I know when I looked at this book over and over and over again, I had this clean and pressed. I was really bad at grading to think that this was a 5. Actually, I thought it was a 4.0. And came back a 7.0. So that's every place that I know of at this time, or that I do hunt. Used bookstores are another one. I've already talked about that, so I didn't want to throw that in there. So we're at 15 minutes. I'm going to end this video, guys. Thanks for watching. See you next time.